Uh, is everybody ready to get started?
We are.
Okay. I see we have with us this morning Chairman Roberts, we have Commissioner Galvin, Commissioner Norton, uh, and Commissioner Kramer. I thought I saw Commissioner Levy. Thought I saw him. I see we have both the attorneys. We got our Director Lawrence, uh, Attorney Smith, and Attorney Huffman. So with that said and done, I see we have Jason Gillen there on, and many others. So with that said and done, we got one correction on the front page, the date. I think that should be 2021, and we got 2020. So I'm assuming that's just a typo.
Mine says 2021.
Mine says 2020. Maybe I pulled up the wrong. Maybe I didn't pull up the revised copy, I guess. Okay, with that said and done, we're gonna turn it over to the attorneys at this point.
Mr. Jackson, this is Laura. If I could interrupt, we have a lot of people that are unmuted, and so there's a lot of feedback. If you could
Okay.
stay muted until unless you're speaking, that would be greatly appreciated.
State my name, you say?
When you speak.
Okay, thank you. Nate Jackson, Commissioner Jackson, we're gonna return it over to the attorneys at this point.
Hi, this is Stuart Hoffman. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the legal review
Yes.
committee. And so we have quite a few cases on here, but we're here to answer any questions that you have.
I'm gonna start with, I look like Chairman Roberts may have some questions, so.
Can I say one thing real quick? I just have a correction for one that I caught last minute. It's number 58. And the respondent had issued 6 temporary tags, and I had just said that they had issued 3 more than allowed. So I just wanted to change that on the front end to 4 more than allowed and a $2,000 civil penalty. I'm sure you guys saw that, but I'm sorry to interrupt you, Chairman.
That's okay. To the commissioners, let's start out with the commissioners. Nate Jackson again. Any commission got any concern about the legal report? Start off whichever number you want to start off with. Chairman Roberts, I see you're listening, but we can't hear you.
How about that?
Okay, better.
Sorry about that. I thought I had it unmuted, but anyway, just I'm not too good with this technology. But anyway, I'll go first if no one else wants to jump in yet. But number 18, I would reduce the civil penalty to $1,500, taking off the expired, off the expired garage liability insurance policy, which was renewed that day and had only been expired for 3 days. My reason for doing so is we want compliance, not just the penalty.
Okay.
Anybody?
Any commission got any concern with that change? This Commissioner Jackson.
What about the owner, Commissioner Galvin? Is he involved in this at all? Or is he the actual person?
What's the question about that?
The owner. Did the owner ever get fined on this?
The owner of the dealership?
Yep.
Well, I guess I'm not understanding the question. We're finding the dealership as the respondent.
Okay, I'm on the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. We were talking about 18, I think.
That's
Correct.
correct.
I got you.
This is Commissioner Norton. I just got a question. So Chairman Roberts, the request is to reduce the penalty by $500 for the expired license.
Sure.
But the
Only
other things.
because it had been 3 days. Okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
But the other fines are still intact for the other violations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, next one is my question on number 19. My question is whether this entity is a public auto auction. If not, their registered members should be all licensed dealers, not individuals.
Great.
I think that was Commissioner Jackson. I believe that was Eric, Attorney Smith.
Yes. I guess I would need to look to see if they're a public auto auction. Is that, Jason, is that a separate, would we know that under their licensure? Would I be able to tell if they are?
Erica, we can look it up in core.
Okay.
We would have to look it up. Motor vehicle probably does not have that documentation on the public auto auction license since it comes from the auctioneer commission. To get that license, they provide the auctioneer commission a copy of the motor vehicle dealer's license. But it should be in the individual name of the auctioneer, but there's not many of them, but we could find out.
Okay, so I can, do you want me to find that out right now, or do we just want to
Well,
decide?
you can get back with us later.
Okay.
It'll be fine. And my next one is 21. And I'm not opposed to a $10,000 civil penalty. However, I would add a cease and desist letter warning against any continued advertising violations as they appear to be usual and customary. Also, I think we should require them, someone from the store, to attend our next meeting and, tell us the steps that they've taken to correct these errors that they're making, intentional or non-intentional. And so anyway, if corrective actions have not been taken, a license suspension would be considered at that time. And a failure to appear should trigger a license suspension of 10 days without further hearing. Is that acceptable? Is that something we can do?
Yes, Chairman Roberts. I think that is a really good idea for this one in particular. And that is definitely something we can do.
Okay.
A question on that particular case. Recommends issuing a $10,000 civil penalty and discussing this matter, considering possibility of restricting advertising for the respondent. Question would be, just curiosity, how would you go about restricting advertising for this respondent?
Well, it's something that I think that was before Chairman Roberts had made this suggestion, because I think his suggestion is better. But what my idea was, when we offered the $10,000 civil penalty as a form of discipline for this matter, we can also, if the commission thought it was necessary, offer in that consent order or put in the consent order as terms that they can't advertise in a certain way. I mean, they don't have to accept it, but I don't see why it's something we cannot do.
Well, I think we probably can do it, but I would be worried of the enforcement of it. And it would get really, it would be more harder to enforce.
It would definitely take a lot of effort to enforce it.
But again, I mean, whatever anybody feels like.
Just Commissioner Norton. Yeah, I agree. I'm just curious to how that would happen. I agree it would probably be hard to do it. I agree with Chairman Roberts' recommendation.
Commissioner Galvin, how'd you come up with the $10,000?
It was discussed with director, and we felt like some of these were so egregious and so repetitive that it warranted something above the standard $500 or $250 civil penalty per violation. That is how we came up with it.
Is it something that you guys put as a process or a set figure like you do other penalties? I mean, do we have to document that? I mean, if I was getting fined $10,000, I would want to break it down. How are you finding me? Just FYI.
I mean, I don't know of a requirement that we have to break it down. I mean, if that's something that we feel we have to do, then.
It's a large amount, and I agree with the rest of y'all, but I mean, if you're going to get fined that big, tell me why and in what instance or how.
I guess my thought here was when we went through it, if we were to break it down, it would be more than 10,000.
Well,
so I feel
It's
like,
not much. Erica, isn't there so much per occurrence and you've got multiple occurrences?
so it's $250 per occurrence. And if we were to go through and count, I mean, a lot of these apply to their entire inventory on their website. So if we were to go through and count every car they've got, that's $250. We could also do $250 per day. So I feel like we're giving them a better offer than what it could add up to.
Jim, you got a break there, buddy. Sounds like that is a good offer.
It is a good offer. I'm just curious of the breakdown. I mean, this is very.
I mean,
me,
if I
think
needed,
it should be more. I think, but I mean, the way this reads. But I agree with Chairman Roberts. We got to do what he recommends.
And Mr. Chairman, if I might add, we talked about this one for quite a while, and I'm looking at the agreed citation schedule, and it's for the first offense, it's $250, second offense is $500, and the third offense is $1,000. Erica has outlined at least 11 items on the legal report where they have been non-compliant. And I think it's important to note as well that this particular dealer has been contacted repeatedly by our inspectors, investigators. They knew what was going on. They indicated that they would make changes, and they're still doing the same thing over and over. So
And
I just wanted to mention that.
Isn't there a previous fine? I'm not looking at my the case in front of me. I'm looking at my complaints, but isn't there a where he's had in the last 5 years been fined for something?
he has been fined for false, fraudulent, and deceptive practices just in 2020.
Okay. Well, it shows a propensity for him to cheat the system. So I think making it more accountable by what I've added in there would serve us best.
I agree. That's what I was thinking. I think it's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Just let us see what they're doing, and don't think that we're just going to let him write it off as an advertising expense. Okay.
This commission, any more comments?
Yes, I've got a few more. Let me number 25, if y'all don't mind, if we're okay to go ahead. Is this dealer still in business with an expired license on number 25?
We'll have to look at it up and see if they've renewed it.
Okay.
Do that real quick.
All right. Let's see. I've got a few more. Number 51. Is 5,000 penalty too steep for a first offense?
Chairman Roberts, what number was that?
51.
51, okay.
Yes, is the $5,000 penalty too steep for a first offense? I might suggest a cease and desist letter and a $2,500 civil penalty, if y'all are okay with that.
The reason why it was 5,000 is that there were two salvage vehicles, so that would be 2,500 apiece.
Okay, okay.
And also in the consent order, there is a cease and desist language
There
that
is,
tells
okay.
them to stop the activity.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. Number 72, I just want to note for the record that the condition deliveries form seemed to work.
Okay.
And that's nothing, just except a comment. Okay.
Right.
And number 83, I wanted to point out that that Tennessee is a delivery state for first liens and a notation state for second and subsequent liens. This means that a second lien is not perfected until it's notated on the title itself. A first lien is perfected when delivered to the county clerk. That helps clarify that number 83. And anyway, we can go on to 94. I guess a letter of warning for what? It 96 both. 94 and 96. Just a question on notifications.
Yes, Commissioner Norton, I agree with that. And I had that flagged as what was the warning issued for on case 94.
The 96 seems to be the same or similar.
The 94 is a letter of warning just to be sure to make that they give some type of notice to the customer, a little bit more notice to the customer about what's wrong and what they can do, and also extended warranties, which just want to make sure that they know that if they're offering a warranty, then they need to put that in the deal file or just put the customer on better notice.
Okay.
Commissioner
96.
Commissioner
Go
Norton, can I respond to that? The reason I flagged that was concerning as a dealer. If the vehicle's sold as is, and he was offered an illustrated offered two separate warranties on it, I was confused to why there was a warning letter recommended, because if he did everything by the book, granted, it was an unfortunate situation. Didn't see anything that required a warning.
Well, I'll be happy to just close it on 94.
Well, I'm just curious for precedence to understand why the warning was issued.
It was more of just making sure that they have the customer on notice about the warranties and what they cover.
I think we just all do away with the letter of warning.
Okay.
Agree, Commissioner Norton?
Okay. 96, would you look at that one too? And it's a letter of warning for what?
That is more of a supervision of salespersons. The salesperson let the customer drive out. They had the keys and they left, and the salesperson didn't know that the person left without having insurance. So it's more, and they corrected everything and put a policy in place, but it's more of supervision.
Okay. All right. 115. This is an example of why the Motor Vehicle Commission may wish to send advice to its licensees regarding how to apply to the Department of Revenue for a third temporary tag. And I know that we can do it. We need to maybe give them advice on that.
Commissioner Norton, agree with that. I was asking the same question. I've been in business a long time. I wouldn't know where you could request a third one.
I wasn't until I still started digging into it, but it's but it is a deal. And I think we need to, and especially with COVID, we need to know how to do that.
I agree.
This commission, I noticed in one section, it has the same, and we're talking about a person that needs an additional tag, a temporary tag, because may have not gotten the title back in the appropriate time.
That's right.
I saw where they said they went through the internal revenue, not internal revenue, but the internal. I believe that's what I saw in one of them.
Department of Revenue.
Department of Revenue.
Yes.
Is that the process if you need additional tag because the title didn't get back? Is that
You're allowed, I think, to get a third one, and somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, I didn't know you could until I started, you know, looking at this deeper. But basically, with all the COVID stuff, you know, we're allowed to issue two 30-day tags. Anything after that necessitates a, you know, violation. But you can, for certain circumstances, ask for 30 more days, which would be a 30, you know, 30 more days. A third one.
Well, Commissioner Jackson, but where do you make that request?
That's what we're asking for. We're asking for advice on or information on how to do that, so the general membership knows how to do that.
Okay.
So that's really all it is, just a comment. And but anyway, next one, I've just got two more. 126. I would recommend that this complaint be closed, but this situation be referred to the Rules Committee, subcommittee, to be included in their overall discussion of possible revisions to the advertising rules.
Commissioner Jackson, anyone got any other comments on that, on 126?
Anybody opposed to it?
Commissioner Galvin, I do. Is there a law that you can set a set price over and above MSRP of that amount, big amount, $100,000? To me, that's awful steep. And the question on that deal, you're asking if the commission feels something needed to change about how the third-party site populates their advertising pricing. Is this something that we need to discuss, or I'm just trying to figure out this $100,000 over MSRP?
All right.
I've never charged anybody that amount of money.
Erica, I think you're you.
Well, Commissioner Jackson, what kind of vehicle was that?
It was a, hold on, I'm gonna tell you.
Very expensive.
Yes, a very, I know it starts, well, it's definitely it's a Mercedes, but a very high-end Mercedes. I think it starts with an M. I'm gonna look it up for you, because I had never seen anything like this. So and it's not, you know, specifically in the rules that you can't do that, but that doesn't mean that it's not, that it's okay. Let me see.
Because while you're looking that up, this Commissioner Norton, my comments on that and been in the business, I've seen this time and again, and the MSRP stands for manufacturer's suggested retail price. I think if the market bears it, I think it's up to the free enterprise system to try to get it. The customers don't have to buy it. It's one of the supply demand issues. So I would caution censorship to market price would be, I would caution that. That's my opinion.
I agree. It's just a suggestion, as it says.
The vehicle was a brand new Mercedes Maybach GLS 600.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. My last comment is on number 150. Is in addition to closing this complaint, I would flag respondents in the event they ever applied for a license in the future.
Okay.
That's Chairman Roberts, that 150?
150.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. That concludes my comments.
And Chairman Roberts, you want to flag 150?
Yes, I do. I think
Okay, thank
that I would do that, you know, in case that person ever applies for a license in the future.
I think I might be confused about that one actually. They're still open. This is about the key fob?
Okay.
Is this the one about the key fob? We're looking at the same one?
Well, let me go back and look at it. Let me pull it up. It's 150.
Okay.
Yes, it is the key fob. You're right. And anyway, I may have got it mixed up with a different case. So let's just strike that. Okay.
So what, Commissioner, 150 is okay then, as,
Okay. Let's leave it off.
okay.
Anybody else? Y'all go ahead.
Commissioner Norton, I just have a few observations and a comment, but my hats off to the legal staff for covering all these cases, and looks like there's a lot of tedious work went through to get to the resolutions of them. I thought job done. I've been doing this my 6th year, and this one looks like a good one. But I do have a couple of observations, and most of them are related to monitoring, which I'm sure probably are flagged to monitor, but just didn't list. So as example, in case number 91, related to authorize a civil penalty of $500 for unlicensed activity, the structure of this case leads me to believe it's a classic curb stoning events, and I just would request and ask to be followed up on this particular case to monitor curb stoning. That's case 91.
Commissioner Galvin, I had the same comment on 91, but I was requesting a more fine suggested because of the curb stone.
Commissioner Jackson, Commissioner Galvin, what's your suggestion on 91?
I just feel like we should give more of a fine than just $500 in this situation.
And I believe this was Attorney Stewart Huffman. I believe this was yours.
It is. I'm up to open to suggestions. I would say that if you want to monitor, what we would have to do is send another investigator out, say in 60 days, 90 days.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm open to a $1,000 fine and send the investigator out within 60 days or.
Commissioner Galvin, I agree with the $1,000 and send the investigator out. I think it would open up their eyes pretty good.
Just Commissioner Norton, further conversation on that. My understanding, we do have statute in place where if there is an observed curb stoning location, those cars are subject to seizure. If you can get local enforcement involved, just a comment to add that to push along with investigator if there's a scenario where they're parked somewhere.
Any more comments on 91?
All right, Commissioner Norton, continuing. I got on case 146, my last one. It's just an observation that from time to time I see in certain cases that Carfax is listed and referred to as a credible source of data. And I just remind the staff that Carfax is not a credible source of data. They rely on purchasing the information and they don't get it all, and sometimes they don't get it right. So I would just remind the staff that Carfax shouldn't be used as the gospel of the word of car law. And that's all I've got.
Okay, great. Any additions, any more comments on the report, legal report?
So this is Stuart Huffman. I've got a comment for the chairman. Number 25, you asked if the license has renewed. It is in expired status. However, the two incidents were while they were active license.
Okay. You're just clarifying the fact that they were suspended at one time. Is that what you said?
No, at the time of these two issues, they were and had an active license.
Okay.
They were properly licensed, but the license has expired because they did not renew in August. So we could reach out to them and make sure that they know that, but the two recommendations are still good.
Okay.
Great. Commissioner Jackson, any more comments, any concern about the legal report? I had 3, but Commissioner earlier already addressed them, so I'm good.
Back to number 19, the auction question.
Yes.
It seems this is a member-only auto auction, not a public auto auction.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that.
Right. Commissioner Jackson, I would echo what Commissioner Norton said earlier. I think the staff did a wonderful job on all these cases. And looking forward for, do you have any idea, any attorney, how many are we behind? Are we kind of caught up or kind of where we are on the legal reports?
We are.
Oh, go ahead. You want to say?
Go ahead, Stuart. I'll let you do it.
No, we're caught up. I mean, but we're constantly getting fresh complaint. But no, we're doing very well on it.
Great.
Cleaning up some old cases. So.
Yeah, and
everything.
I would say this is the zoning landlord that I see all of the complaints that come in within our division. And since December 1, there's been an increase in complaints holistically since December 1 than we had last year. So we're seeing a higher volume number of complaints, and it's likely that people are out there, consumers are out there starting to kind of come back. Which would generate more complaints. I don't know if that actually aligns with business practices, what they're saying, but I can tell you that our number of complaints are up across the board. And I would expect that to continue into the summer. That's normally our trend as we start to get to our busy season of complaints once we get past Memorial Day and 4th of July.
Okay.
Commissioner Galvin, have you guys hired more investigators, or what's the situation with y'all's investigators? Are you still slacking a couple, or what's your status?
I'm not sure that the investigators are hired by the administration and that they're part of a separate division. I couldn't tell you how many we have or how many they're down.
Okay. Commissioner Jackson, we're not hearing any more concern about the legal report, so subject to the full commissioner, based on the few items that we got to make adjustments, I'm sure the staff will make a recommendation full committee. So with that said and done, have a motion to adjourn the legal report.
Motion to adjourn, please.
Do we need Director Lawrence, do we need to get a roll call?
Yes, we need a motion and a second to adopt the report as presented and edited by the legal committee, and then we can adjourn.
So moved.
Chairman Roberts made the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second by Commissioner Galvin.
All those in favor of the motion to adopt the legal report with the changes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And I hate to rain on the parade, but we're going to need a roll call vote.
Okay, roll call vote, Director.
Commissioner Galvin
Yes.
votes aye. Commissioner Jackson
Yes.
votes aye. Commissioner Kramer
Yes.
votes aye. Commissioner Levy
Yes.
votes aye. Commissioner Norton
Yes.
votes aye. And Chairman Roberts.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, you have 6 ayes. The report is adopted.
Thank you very much. And we'll reconvene at our quarterly meeting in about 25 minutes.
Excuse me, Director Lawrence, did I hear you call Commissioner Kramer? He's on the committee. Did I miss that? It's Commissioner Jackson.
I called his name.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Mhm.
That's what happens when you miss a meeting. All right, well, we'll look forward at the 9:30 meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. 9:30 a.m. And this is the Motor Vehicle Commission regularly quarterly meeting. Call it to order at 9:30 a.m. And Executive Director Lawrence, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Barker. Commissioner Barker is absent. Commissioner Evans. Commissioner Evans is absent. Commissioner Fox
Here.
is
President.
present.
Commissioner Evans is present.
Thank you, Commissioner Evans. Commissioner Galvin
Here.
is present. Commissioner Jackson
Here.
is present. Commissioner Kramer
Here.
is present. Commissioner Levy
Here.
is present. Commissioner Lee
Here.
is present. Commissioner Melton is present.
Here.
Commissioner Murray. Commissioner Murray is absent. Commissioner Norton
Here.
is present. Commissioner Vaughn. Commissioner Vaughn is absent. Commissioner West. Commissioner West is absent. And Commissioner White. Commissioner White is absent. Chairman Roberts
I'm here.
is present. Mr. Chairman, you have 9 members present.
So we have a
10
quorum.
present. You have a
We
quorum.
established a quorum. And there was a meeting notice. Would you like to keep talking on the meeting notice?
Yes, sir. This meeting's date, time, and location have been noticed on the Tennessee Motor Vehicle Commission's website, included as part of this year's meeting calendar since November 12, 2020. Additionally, the agenda for this month's meeting has been posted on the Tennessee Motor Vehicle Commission's website since April 24, 2021. The meeting has also been noticed on the tn.gov website.
All right, thank you for that. Statement of necessity, Miss General Counsel Bush, got a statement
Yes,
for us?
good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chairman Roberts. Good morning. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Tennessee Motor Vehicle Commission, which is taking place by electronic means utilizing the WebEx teleconference application on Tuesday, April 27, 2021. As mentioned, notice of this meeting was properly posted to the board's website. Because there is not a physical quorum present, a statement of necessity is read into the record and filed with the Tennessee Secretary of State as required by statute. Pursuant to TCA 844-108B2, if a physical quorum is not present at the location of a meeting of a governing body, and in order for a quorum of members to participate by electronic or other means of communication, the governing body must make a determination that a necessity exists. That determination must include recitation of the facts and circumstances on which it was based, Further, TCA 844-108A3 defines necessity as matters to be considered by the governing body at that meeting, require timely action by the body, and that physical presence by a quorum of members is not practical within the period of time requiring action, and that participation by a quorum of the members by electronic or other means of communications is necessary. The purpose of this meeting with board members attending by teleconference is to address regularly scheduled matters of the commission in the most safe manner due to COVID-19 and in order to comply with the governor's executive orders surrounding public meetings. All voting will be conducted by roll call. Thank you.
All right. We've been mailed out an agenda to the commission members. And do we have a motion to adopt?
Commissioner Norton, I'd like to adopt the agenda for commission meeting.
Commissioner Lee,
Commissioner
I'll
Melton.
second.
Commissioner Lee seconded it. And any further discussion? All those in favor? Well, we did have a roll call vote. Everything on on this virtual has to be voted on. So Commissioner Director Lawrence, would you please call the roll?
This is a roll call vote on adoption of the agenda. Commissioner Barker is absent. Commissioner Evans
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Fox
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Galvin
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Jackson.
He's here.
Yep.
Sorry,
Commissioner
I was-
Commissioner Kramer
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Levy
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Lee
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Melton
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Murray is absent. Commissioner Norton
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Vaughn
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner West is absent. Commissioner White is absent, and Chairman Roberts
Aye.
votes aye. The agenda is adopted.
All right. Thank you very much. Next is to approve the minutes from the January 2021 quarterly commission meeting. Do we have a motion to approve it?
Commissioner Fox, I would vote to approve it. The minutes.
Melton, second.
Commissioner Melton, a second. Any further discussion? Would you call the roll, Executive Director Lawrence?
This vote is to adopt the January minutes from the Motor Vehicle Commission meeting. Commissioner Barker is absent. Commissioner Evans
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Fox
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Galvin
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Jackson
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Kramer
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Levy
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Lee
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Melton
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Norton
Aye.
votes aye. Commissioner Vaughn votes aye. And Chairman Roberts
Aye.
votes aye. The minutes have been adopted.
Thank you very much. Moving on to self-person dealer appeals.
Chairman Roberts, can I,
I'm hearing a lot of chat.
yeah, can I just remind everyone to go on mute, not to call anybody out, but Commissioner Galvin, your microphone seems to be the culprit whenever there's any feedback. Something's going on with your office and the way it's interacting, I think.
Thanks.
Anyway, next item is salesperson dealer appeals. Do we have an address we need from our council?
Yes, Chairman Roberts, if you allow me to just read an excerpt about each appeal before they begin, if that's okay. So First up is Ms. Alicia Fulton.
Yes, she's here. I'm with American Car Center. She's in the room.
Okay.
Okay, great. In the case of Ms. Alicia Fulton, the relevant documented conviction is her attempted second-degree murder on March 15, 2009. From the documents received by the commission, it appears that the applicant received a Class B felony and was ordered to 10 years in prison. This application may be denied under TCA 55-1714 A1C until May 7, 2022.
Commissioner Roberts, you're on
Chairman
mute.
Roberts?
Sorry about that. Is Miss Fulton here?
She is, sir. Here she is.
Would she like to address us at this time?
Yes, I would.
Thank you.
Hello.
Talk through what your past is, what's happened to you,
Okay.
how we should grant you, license.
Okay, so back into that, well, I can start earlier than 2009. Back in 2007, I was in a really, really bad place, basically trying to fit in with the crowd, not really caring about my future, yet doing the usual young and dumb stuff. I got into a relationship, trying to fit in with his friends. He ended up, I'll even break down the whole story if you would like. I was in a relationship. He ended up robbing another guy. I wasn't there, didn't know that it happened. I was sitting in the car one day and his 3 cousins came and they jumped me. Reacting off of anger and emotion and just being young and stupid, I went home and I grabbed a gun and I came back and it just went all downhill from there. I got sentenced to 10 years in Tennessee State Penitentiary. The day that I got sentenced was the day that changed my whole life. I did not want to be there. I did not want to have that reflection on me, but that's what happened, and I had to take responsibility for that. So I stepped up, I took responsibility for that, but I also decided that day to change. I didn't want to be that person. So while I was incarcerated, I got my GED. I got accepted into Tennessee State University inside of a cell. It was one of the most proudest days of my life. I'm so nervous. I'm so excited that this day is finally here. I've been waiting like almost 2 months for this day, so excuse me if I'm a little emotional. I got accepted into Tennessee State University inside of a cell, which was one of the most proud days of my life. The day that I was released, I went into a halfway house called Magdalene House, and I joined a church and started from there. I decided from there to change everything about me, my personality, everything that I thought. I wanted a better future for myself. So I started college. I got out September 1st, 2015. I started college January of 2016. No, I got out September 15. I started school January of 16. I finished May of last year, finally. I've been working hotel jobs, housekeeping, front desk, factory, and I finally got this opportunity to sell cars. From the first day that I started selling cars, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. This is what I want. I'm good at it. I just need the opportunity to make it my career. I started working, and then I got called into the office and they told me, well, you got denied because of your past. I've been denied so much for my past. I've been trying to do different stuff to cover, good stuff to cover it up. I've done community outreach. I've started modeling. My first magazine just came out this month. So I've been working really hard on that. I've been acting a little bit. I have a movie I'm filming right now. So like I've been working really hard on just basically covering up what I did when I was younger. And I thank you for the opportunity to tell my story, because a lot of companies don't give you this opportunity. So I do appreciate this opportunity to tell my story and to tell what I've learned from the stuff that I've done in my past, and take responsibility for it, and pray that you guys give me the opportunity to move forward. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And you brought someone with you,
Yes, sir.
and let him state his name and what his role is in your employment.
My name is Zachary Gardner. I'm the regional sales manager for American Car Center over the Tennessee region. Yes, sir.
Just tell us, she works for you, and just tell us about.
She works for our Clarksville location.
Okay.
She works for our Clarksville location, and I mean, since she actually started at our Bell Road location, but she lives in Clarksville. She was driving, every day, to that location to work. We had an opening in our Clarksville, and I transferred her, to this location. And she's been nothing but a bright light. And she has a good story. And when she told it, and she's great customer service, very attentive to the customers. And I mean, nowadays, it's kind of hard when you see people that have a willingness to work. And that's why, as American Car Center, as a company, we want to step out and, and take the extra step to try to, to secure her position, when she got denied. So.
Sure.
But she's definitely a lot of positive energy to each location that she was at. So,
Okay.
And I just want to be here to, to just to vouch for her on that end.
Thank you so much.
No
And
problem.
I'll ask from commission members any questions they have.
Commissioner Jackson, this is to Ms. Fulton. Have you had any trouble since you graduated? All the things that you've outlined, what you've done since you paid your time to society?
I can proudly say no, sir. Before, it was crazy because before, I had never been in trouble before. So when I went to court and the DA and the judge looked at my case, they were like, well, wait a minute, she's never been in trouble. So how did she get here? So even after, I've stayed in touch with Judge Blackburn, and she's helping me actually write my book about my story, because my story is not, it's a testimony, it's who I am. I can't cover up who I am. I just try to reach out and let girls know, or other women know, that yes, you can make mistakes in your life, but you have to learn from that mistake and better yourself. You can't stay stuck in that position. And then you have to also let girls know that are in my position, that has been told no so many times, to never give up. Don't give up, because one day you might get that yes. So I'm just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing to better me. And it's a personal fight for me.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other commission member comments, questions?
Commissioner Galvin, I got a couple questions. Ms. Fulton, how long have you worked for this gentleman?
Since November of last year.
November. And you said sales is your passion and you really want to work hard at it. How many hours do you think you're going to put into a sales position at that place? And the reason I'm asking that is because you also mentioned that you do modeling and actress as well on the side. To me, in this industry, it's hard to do two things, and be committed. And I just want to make sure you're committed doing what you like to do best. Is it modeling actress that you really want to go for, or is it the sales position that you want to obtain and be part of it, you know, for the rest of your life?
Okay, modeling is just a hobby of mine and I really love it, but this is my career. This is something that I want so bad. When I was working, I was doing it on my off days. I wasn't, or when I got off. I was getting up if I had to be here at 9, I was getting up at 5 doing a sunrise photo shoot and to be here at 9. And I'll come in with a full face of makeup. But it would be okay because I thought I was pretty, you know? So like I make it work. I make it work. This is what I want to do. Modeling is a hobby. If I had to choose between modeling and this job, I will always choose this job, no matter what.
Any other comments, questions?
This is Commissioner Fox. I was looking through the applicants today and I noticed we've got 2 people with murder charges. And I thought that was extremely unusual.
This is Commissioner Vaughn.
Are they? Okay. I'm sorry. I thought that was extremely unusual, but I was thinking there's no way I was going to give somebody their license with murder charges. But Ms. Fulton has kind of touched my heart today with listening to her testimony. And I want to make a motion that we grant her license.
Do we have a
Mr.
second?
Jackson, I second it.
I'm sorry, who made the second?
Commissioner Jackson.
And Commissioner Vaughn, did you have something you wanted to say before this goes to a vote?
Okay, no further discussion. Executive Director Lawrence, will you call the roll for the vote on this license?
Commissioner Evans? Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Fox?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Galvin? Commissioner Galvin?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Jackson?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Kramer?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Levy?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Melton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Votes aye. And Chairman Roberts?
Aye.
Votes aye. The motion passes. Ms. Fulton, your license will be granted and you,
Thank you.
gosh, you will be hearing from us very soon about how to get your license.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
All right, that was a happy ending to a case. And next case, we have an update or some clarification for that one.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Robert. The next appeal is for Ms. Morgan Janaja. I don't know, I'm probably gonna say that wrong. You have to correct me. I'm sorry for that. The documented conviction is for 3 counts of, and I'm sorry, that's Mr. Morgan. The documented conviction is for 3 counts of sex offender registration violation, monitoring device tampering, removal, or vandalism, aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, and especially aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor on October 25th, 2013. From the documents received by the commission, it appears that the applicant received 3 Class E felonies, 1 Class A misdemeanor, and 2 Class B felonies. This application may be denied under TCA 5517A1C until June 17th, 2025.
Okay, is, Mr. I can't pronounce the name, I'm so sorry. Is he here among us? Janja, is that correct? Maria, do we know if he's here?
I'm not sure. I'm not seeing him on the list.
Mr. Chairman,
But,
I'm
you know,
not seeing him. I'm not seeing him either. Maybe we could move him down the agenda and see if we can get in touch with him if he wanted to appear before the commission or not.
Okay, I think that's fair. We'll just move him to the bottom, and then if he's not here, then we'll just have to deal with it at that time. Okay? Can we go to, can we talk about, Maria, you got information on Terry Phillips?
Yes. In the case of Terry Phillips, the documented conviction is for first-degree murder on July 19, 1988. From the documents received by the commission, it appears the applicant received a Class A felony and was sentenced to a combination of prison and life parole. This application may be denied under TCA 551714 for an indefinite amount of time due to the fact that the applicant is still actively on parole. So usually these will have an expiration due to the fact that we take 5 years from the latest date of release from probation, prison, or parole. But since this applicant is on life parole at this time, there's no expiration on when the commission would not have discretion to deny.
Okay. Is there a question? Is Mr. Phillips on the screen? Is he here with us?
Mr. Chairman, I don't see him either. Perhaps like the previous applicant, we could reach out to him and see if he intended to appear today. I think we have
Okay.
2 more.
Okay. Maria, would you like to talk about Lacey T. Garden?
Yes,
correct?
and I just wanted to make one note about Mr. Phillips in his appeal packet. He did send a letter kind of detailing what a lot of individuals say when they come before the commission. So, you know, he did submit some information, but I'm not quite sure why he's here. Anyhow, just wanted to make you all aware of that. And then I will move on to Ms. Lacey T. Garden. The documented conviction is for obstruction of law enforcement on March 3rd, 2018. The applicant received a Class B misdemeanor and was sentenced to 3 years of supervised probation. This renewal may be denied until July 23rd, 2023.
Okay. Is Ms. T. Garden here on record with us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you like to address us and tell us your story?
All right, so a little bit about myself is, you know, I'm starting a new little path in my life for myself. I want more for me and my future. As far as my past goes, you know, being younger and making not the right decisions at the right time definitely falls into play of what happened that night. I definitely was under the influence of alcohol and did not make the right decision. I was very ignorant in what I did and know that it was wrong. And definitely am heartfelt and very, very sorry for what I did that night. And, you know, I really just want to move forward from here for a better future for myself. And as far as that, I am sorry. I'm terribly sorry. It sucks. I have to deal with it now, every day. So from here on out, I just want to push forward to do better for my future.
Can you give a little bit more explanation on what happened and where you are now?
Absolutely. So I went out one night with a couple friends. We were at a bar hanging out, you know, got a little intoxicated, you know, we got back to the house, so we're in the front yard all having a good time, you know, got a little loud. I'm guessing the neighbors, one of our neighbors called for a noise complaint. You know, me being intoxicated, the cop showed up and was like, hey, you know, what's going on? I was like, oh, we're having a good time, you know, tried to cut up, but obviously I was a little more over my head than I thought I was. So at that point, I was technically under the law of in public intoxication. So he started to read me my rights. I was a little discombobulated on why I was about to get arrested, but because I was like at my own home in my front yard, so I didn't think that I was in the wrong. But I actually was, and I kind of disobeyed the order of, hey, I'm gonna need you to come here. We need to talk about this. You're being disorderly. You're being a little loud. And at that time, I was intoxicated, and I just didn't understand. I'm at home. I tried to go inside, and that's where I did wrong. I shouldn't have went inside. I should have listened to him and did what I was told to do, and I did not. So I was wrong for that.
Okay. Any comments from commission members on questions, comments?
Commissioner Jackson, so you got charged with obstruction of law enforcement. Was that the charge?
Yes, sir. I got resisting arrest.
Okay. And you were in your yard when all this took place, when the police showed up because y'all got a little loud and all that stuff?
Yes, sir. I was in my front yard, I guess acting a little bit of a fool, over intoxicated. Yes, sir.
This is to the staff. Did we do any background check? Did she have any other record other than what she got charged with for obstruction of law enforcement? Was there anything else in her record?
This is Maria. I do a felony check on applicants when they submit their documentation. There was no record of any other convictions, and also this is a misdemeanor charge as well. So
Okay.
I did not find any other relevant, convictions.
Okay, thank you. So actually, it's not a felony, it's a misdemeanor charges.
Yes, sir.
That
It's
is
a
correct.
misdemeanor.
Okay.
Did Ms. Teagarden, did you bring anybody with you?
I did. I brought my sister as well as Nick Tice, who is one of my finance managers.
Okay. We'd love to hear from them at this point.
Alrighty. I'm going to slide back out of your way.
Okay. Can you tell us who you are and what role you play in her life?
Yes, sir. My name is Nicholas Tice. I'm one of the finance managers here at Newton Nissan. I work with Lacey pretty much every day. She does great with the customers. The customers love her. Since I've seen her work here, Nissan has these tests that they give you, and they usually take everybody about a week, and she knocked them out in, I think, 2 days or 3 days. She got everything done to get out as quick as she could. Yeah, she's good. Her paperwork's always right. Her customers love her. She's honest with everybody. She's upfront. That's what I hear that people like about her. And I know one big thing is I actually told her I had to do the same thing about 3 years ago. Actually, I had to come before y'all and do the appeal. And I was actually a porter at the time, working to try to become a salesman. And it completely changed my life. Y'all gave me the opportunity, and I have a family now, a beautiful daughter, a wife. And I love this place. It's a great environment, and they really take care of you. They really try to help you better your life, which is exactly what I feel like she's trying to do.
Okay. Any questions from commission members?
This is Commissioner Fox. I'd like to ask Ms. Teagarden. I noticed in the affidavit, she was in the front yard yelling at another lady that had been vandalized. Did you vandalize her house, or why were you yelling at her?
No, sir. That was actually my ex-fiance that you're speaking about at the moment. She was a little upset that I had went out that night and drove by my house at the wrong time, and there was another woman there, and she wasn't happy about it. So that's what happened there.
So you didn't vandalize her house at all?
No, sir. I was at my house.
Okay. All right. That's all.
Commissioner Vaughn, I have a few
Any other
questions.
comments?
Commissioner Vaughn, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me. My connection is terrible.
can.
Okay, so have you been in any trouble since this situation happened?
No, ma'am, not at all. It definitely was an eye opener for me. As I was getting older, and I make that mistake, and no, I haven't been in trouble, and it feels good to actually, I definitely learned from it, and a whole lot of remorse, and it was very idiotic of me to do what I did. But I'm very, very proud of myself to say, no, I have not been in any trouble. I've definitely calmed down on the drinking and just, learned to just do what's right and do what's told of me, and definitely to better myself and for my future.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other comments or
Commissioner
motions?
Galvin, knowing the dealership real well and knowing the owner and his background and the people that he hires, I like to make a motion. We approve Mrs. Teagarden's application for a sales license.
Commissioner Vaughn, second.
Any further discussion? If not, Executive Director Lawrence, will you call the roll for the vote?
Yes, Chairman, this is to approve licensure for Lacey Teagarden. The motion was made by Commissioner Galvin and seconded by Commissioner Vaughn. Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Fox?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Galvin?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Jackson?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Kramer?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Levy?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Melton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Votes aye. And Chairman Roberts.
Aye.
Ms. Teagarden, your application for licensure will be approved, and you will be hearing from us shortly.
Hey, thank y'all so much for this opportunity.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And going back, do we have any connection with Mr. I guess Jacob? Is he with us now?
Chairman, I don't think so. I know that Jason has reached out to both he and Mr. Phillips, and I don't think he's heard anything back from either of them.
And what's our deal that we do from this point if they don't if they're not here? It's automatic turn down, or
This Commissioner Jackson, if they've been properly notified, and I'm sure they have been, we normally make a motion to grant whatever the staff has recommended. That's what we've been doing in the past.
okay.
So with that said and done, since Mr. is it Morgan is not here,
Morgan Jacob.
we support the staff recommendation.
Second, Commissioner Vaughn.
Any further discussion? Executive Director Lawrence, will you call the roll on this vote?
Yes, sir. And this will be to deny licensure to Morgan Janja. Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Fox?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Galvin?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Jackson?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Kramer?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Levy?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Melton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Votes aye. And Chairman Roberts.
Aye.
So his license will be denied.
Okay, thank you. And next, I think Terry Phillips, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is he on the conference now?
No, sir, not that I see.
Okay. I assume, I shouldn't assume anything, but the same thing will happen on this case as the one before it.
Commissioner Jackson, motion that we support the staff recommendation on Mr. Phillips.
Commissioner Lee, I'll second.
Who seconded it?
Sure.
Bear did, okay. Commissioner Vaughn. And any further discussion? Executive Director Lawrence, if you'll call the roll for this vote.
The motion is to deny license for Terry Phillips, made by Commissioner Jackson and seconded by Commissioner Vaughn. Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Fox?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Galvin?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Jackson?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Kramer?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Levy?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Melton?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Votes aye. And Chairman Roberts?
Aye.
Votes aye. Mr. Phillips' license will be denied.
All right. Thank you so much for giving us that account. Next, Executive Director Lawrence, you want to give your report?
Mr. Chairman, I apologize. I don't think you have the revised agenda that was sent out. And we have one last appeal for
Oh, we do?
Scott Cranmore.
Okay. Ms. Bush, would you like to address us on that one?
Yes, thank you. In the case of Mr. Scott David Cranmore, or it might be David Scott, I apologize. I'll have to clarify that. But the documented conviction is for reckless endangerment and domestic assault on November 30th, 2019. It appears that the applicant received one Class A misdemeanor. This application may be denied under TCA 55-17-14 until August 12, 2026.
Okay. And what is his name again? Because it's not on my report.
Scott Cranmore.
Okay, Mr. Cranmore, is he on the call with us?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay. Would you like to address us?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and Commission, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity. I don't really know where to start. I try not to take up a lot of your time, but I would like to just kind of give a little bit of my background before the criminal background comes into play. I spent 14 years in the criminal justice sector through various equations as far as recovery agent, bonding. The latest was alcohol monitoring, recovery, using the STRAM device, the drug patch, helping with reentry programs. Spent a lot of time up on Capitol Hill and in courtrooms, truly trying to make a difference in the communities with jail overcrowding, working with TCI corporations and things of that nature and local sheriffs. And that was a true passion for me, really just selling and setting up programs, for our counties throughout the state of Tennessee. I ended that career in August of 2019 due to cultural differences. During that time, I was also going through a divorce. And I'll be honest with you, I was in a very hurt place, very just angry. I'm not sure if I was angry at myself, if I was angry at the world, but I was just angry. I got upset quite often. The incident that occurred was the day after Thanksgiving. It was at my house, my residence. My girlfriend and her family from New York and Cleveland, her mom and brother, they came over. We had a really big gathering. The event that occurred, my anger kicked in. I did not actually touch anyone. There was no physical harm. There was loud screaming and yelling. There were confrontational conversations, if you shall, throughout that. And ultimately, I tried to leave the situation. She stopped me twice. On the third time, I just got in my car, drove around the house, and was leaving. And at that point, that's when the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department was there in my driveway. I immediately got out of the car, hands on the ground, got on the ground, hands on my head. They took me into custody. The court system did have my charges fouled up. They were coded wrong. As I sent in to your office, I was never arrested for domestic violence. It was originally aggravated assault, which I pled down to simple assault, which was a misdemeanor, and I also pled down to the misdemeanor of reckless endangerment. And I went to the courthouse to get those fixed. They are filing that proper paperwork. Miss Heather in the Hamilton County, and in Chattanooga's courthouse, is filing that paperwork with TBI to get that changed off of my background. So that is me as a person, I guess, to some degree. I'm a musician by trade. My father was a pastor. I go to church. I play in a music group, Hunter Simmons Ministry. He's been a friend of mine for a while. I play drums, bass, guitar, piano. So I definitely, this was a mistake. It was a one time, just trying to deal with life, and I did not deal with it well. And I would say the most humbled that I've ever been would have been being placed in the back of that police car, as I have done to so many people, throughout the years with warrants and different things. That having that done to me was definitely very humbling. Changed my life as a whole, my outlook on people. I really just want to serve people. I want to serve others. Zig Ziglar says you can have everything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want first. Very, very passionate about serving others. I've trained multiple salespeople when I was working for a carpet cleaning organization before I came here to Lone Hyundai. And, one of the things I always told them was that, even Jesus's, last servitude moment before dying on the cross was he washed his disciples' feet. And if we will have that in our heart and in our spirit, no matter what we're doing, that I truly believe that, we can make a difference in other people's lives as well as our own. So, again, I thank you for the opportunity to appeal this, because what you read on paper is not who I am as a person, and that's not who I want to be remembered by.
Thank you for your comments. Any questions for Mr. Cranmore? Is that right?
Yes, sir, Mr. Crane. Yes, Cranmore.
Okay.
Commissioner Norton has a question. Commissioner Norton has a question for Mr. Cranmore. Did you take any anger management classes, or are you involved in any anger management classes now?
I am not currently, but I was required to go meet with my therapist and to do an alcohol and drug assessment, which both were completed and turned in.
Was that a program, something you had to complete over time, or was that a one session?
It was deemed by the court just a one session. Due to this being my first ever involvement on the other side of the criminal justice book, it was just something that the DA requested me to do.
Commissioner Vaughn has a question.
If y'all will, just note that Commissioner West has joined us. And go ahead. Any questions? Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn, it's a few questions for Mr. Cranmore. Can you hear me okay? Sorry, my connection is terrible here.
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Okay. So have you had any issues since this incident?
No, ma'am.
Are you still in a relationship with this woman that's I guess the center of this issue?
Yes, ma'am. Her name is Alicia. We actually moved from Harrison to Alabama together, and then moved back from Alabama. We both currently live in Ooltewah, Tennessee.
Okay. Was there a weapon involved in this? Did I read that correctly?
There was a weapon in the vehicle. Yes, ma'am. That's I got charged originally also with possession of a firearm while intoxicated, but that was dismissed due to the fact that the gun was in the car.
Was there any issues on your record prior to this situation?
No, ma'am. This was a first time offender.
Okay, and this was in 2019, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, those are all my questions for now.
Any other questions?
Mr. Galvin,
Okay.
Mr. Cranmore, did you bring anybody with you?
Yes, sir. My general sales manager, Mike Nichols, is here from Long Hyundai.
Okay, can we hear from him? And what role he plays for you?
Yes, sir. I'll turn it over to him now.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Thank you. Very good.
And what questions do you have for me?
Well, just explain your role in his life, Mr. Cranmore's life. What do you do? Do you oversee him? Are you, what do you have to enlighten us on?
So I'm the general sales manager for the store, and Scott's come to work for us. I think he's got a runway of opportunity with us, but I'd like to be able to see if we can get past this hiccup here and get him into selling cars and making some money for us.
Questions from the commission members?
Commissioner Vaughn, I have a few questions. How long have you known Mr. Cranmore?
60 days. Yeah, since February.
February. And will you be his direct supervisor?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Do you require drug tests, background checks, all of that at your place of business?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Have you ever appeared before the Tennessee Motor Vehicle Commission personally?
No, ma'am, I have not.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Or motions?
I have actually one more question for Mr. Cranmore.
Okay.
Since this is obviously a very recent issue that you had, and this is a last minute joining of our, I guess, for the appeal, why do you feel like we should look past this situation? Because I take domestic violence type situations or domestic issues very, very seriously, and certainly if there's a weapon involved, because that is, it may not have been on your person, but it was in your car. So yeah, I would just like to hear a little bit more from you of exactly why you think this commission should approve your license today.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. I don't know why you should approve me, other than the fact that I'm not the guy that you read on paper. I've never in my life hit a woman, touched a woman, did anything foul to a domestic partner in my life. As a matter of fact, I've stood on Capitol Hill passing laws with our lobbyists to help overcome and to help women in domestic violence cases, utilizing GPS monitors for offenders, helping sheriffs, whenever they get them out on bond on that 12-hour hold, ensuring that they have an ankle monitor, setting up alert management centers to oversee these individuals to ensure the victim's safety. That is just not who I am. Domestic violence is not what this was. This was unfortunately miscoded, and now I have to overcome the domestic violence conversation. Again, my charge was aggravated assault due to the nature of the conversation and the weapon being in the car. Upon further investigation and conversations with the DA and the judge, they found it to where I could plead down to a simple assault. And on both jackets from the court, if you've all had the opportunity to receive those in an email, you will see where under each charge where it says domestic, both were circled no, not only by the arresting officer, but also by the court. So I do apologize for the Hamilton County court system having this miscoded, but as far as the charge of domestic violence, that's just not who I am. That's not what I was charged with. And as far as being able to retain a license, this is how I feed my family. I've been in sales all of my life. I usually tell people I watched my first used car sale go down at the age of 10 years old while shooting pool in Soddy Daisy, Tennessee at a used car lot from one of my dad's friends' car lots that he had. I've been in some sort of sales or type of sales, all my life, whether it's standing up in front of county commissioners on the county level, trying to implement programs for reducing jail overcrowding and increasing public safety, or whether it was the carpet cleaning, hiring service technicians on how to sell on carpet cleaning, or now here at the car lot. I mean, that's who I am as a person. I am a true salesman at the end of the day is what I deem myself to be. I love helping people.
Was there anyone else that was arrested? And also, who called the police and why?
No one else was arrested at that time, and her family is actually the one that called the police. Her family that was there, one of her aunts from Cleveland, that was there visiting at my house, our house, mine and hers house, is actually the one that called it in, or maybe it was her sister. It was either her aunt or her sister, but it was not her. She was not the one that called. She actually is the one that stood behind and got a hold of the bail bondsman for me and got me out of jail and picked me up from jail. I mean, again, this was a verbal confrontation between her and I that bled over to really her brother, who kind of got involved, but no one ever touched anybody. There were never any hands put on another person. It was all verbal, and all truly at the end of the day, just a mistake and a misunderstanding, and something that every day of my life, I wish I could take those words back.
How is your relationship with the family, her family?
Everyone but her aunt, I talk with and go to dinner with. Her mom was there. Her Gigi was there. They both live in Cleveland. Her mom just moved down from New York. And we go to Sunday dinners. She comes over and hangs out by the pool. We go up there and hang out with them. We gave her brother one of our golden retriever puppies that we bred. She breeds golden retriever puppies, and gave him one. He came down from Cleveland and picked up the puppy. I mean, I'm not really around her family much because half is still in New York and the other half is in Cleveland and they work. But I mean, as far as the ones that I was around initially, that relationship has been rekindled.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to make one point of clarification for the commission regarding the conviction. So I make recommendations to the commission based on the documents that I receive that are certified by the clerk. In this situation, Mr. Cranmore pled to, a lower offense. However, what I have right now as a certified copy from the clerk is the domestic assault. So that's why you all see that. And I know he said there might be an issue or a misunderstanding that he's trying to amend, but I make recommendations to you all based on the certified paperwork that I received. And so that's why you see this recommendation. And also I just wanted to point out one thing, that assault under the statute does not have to be, physical contact. So I just wanted to let you all know that under the statute, it can be intentionally or knowingly causing reasonably fear of imminent bodily injury. So that might help you all. Battery is when there's actual contact between the parties, but assault does not have to be, the hitting or whatever. It doesn't have to be bodily contact. So I just wanted to clarify that because I know these can be confusing.
Well, thank you, General Counsel Bush, for clarification on that. Any other questions?
Yes, this is Commissioner Melton, and I have a quick question, please. Mr. Kramer,
Okay.
what have you learned from this incident? To breathe, to step back and not just hit every situation that comes my way head on. I'm not an angry person by nature. And during that 4 to 6 month window of just everything in my life just changing and being, to me, turned upside down. I mean, I built that ankle monitoring company from the time of its inception to where it was in August of 2019. And honestly, I felt like I lost a part of me when I left that job and that career. And I just had anger. I had anger in my life. I wasn't praying like I should. I wasn't going to church like I should. I wasn't following, in my dad's footsteps the way that, he wanted me to or would have expected me to had he still been alive. He passed away in 99. So, just a learning curve for me, honestly, of just, and I really shouldn't call it a learning curve maybe, but it was just a time in my life where I did not make all the right decisions. And 36 years I spent never being in jail, never being in trouble, helping others, serving others, helping get people off drugs, making a difference in their life, working with the drug courts in the state of Tennessee. And then this one mistake, this one time event, I think there's a quote that says the difference between, a good person and a criminal is one bad judgment call, right? I mean, and this was truly one bad judgment call, on my end that every day, I wish I could take back.
Any other comments? Do we have a motion or is there a lack of motion?
This Commissioner Fox, I guess somebody needs to make a motion, and I guess I'll be the one to do that. But I'm a big believer in second chances, and I'll take Mr. Cranmore at his word that it's not as bad as it looks. So I'll make the motion that we approve his application.
Commissioner Jackson, I second it.
Any further discussion? If Executive Director Lawrence will call the roll for this vote.
The motion is for approval of licensure made by Commissioner Fox and seconded by Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Fox?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Galvin?
No.
Votes no. Commissioner Jackson?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Kramer?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Levy?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Lee?
No.
Votes no. Commissioner Melton?
No.
Votes no. Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Vaughn?
No.
Votes no. Commissioner West?
Aye.
Votes aye. And Chairman Roberts?
No.
Votes no. Mr. Chairman, you have 7 ayes and 5 noes. The motion to approve carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and
And,
Commission.
anyway, you'll take care of that. I guess you will take care of issuing him that license, right?
Yes, sir. We will be in touch, Mr. Cranmore.
Thank you, Mr.
Hey,
Jackson.
one question. Is he able to sell during this time frame, or do we need to keep him off the floor until we?
He will get an email literally today with a copy of his license. So yes.
Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate everyone.
Okay. Executive Director Lawrence, you have a report for us?
I do. If we could move to the director's report, we are really on track for this quarter with last quarter. If you'll notice, the numbers are very similar. We continue to be really busy, which is great. We have not experienced a lot of downtime through COVID, and I know that everything is really coming back to life now. So I'm hoping that we're going to have a really, really successful spring and summer. Our staff continues to perform admirably. We literally license people within under a day's time. I don't know of any other board or commission that does that, and that's thanks to all the hard work of all of our staff, Barry and Jason and Tim and Portia and Marcia, and who did I leave out? Jim. So they've done an excellent job, and we continue to get rave ratings from our customers. The only thing I did want to put everybody on notice of was that it looks like our in-person meetings will perhaps start back in May, which means that we will likely have an in-person meeting in July. So I just wanted to let everybody know that would be coming up. And as you know, we did send out a communication on advertising violations because we've seen an uptick in those recently. And we've gotten a lot of good feedback from many of our dealers calling, looking for guidance and wanting to make sure that they were compliant. So I'm really pleased with that. Jason has spearheaded much of that and done yeoman's work. So I really, really appreciate it. That's all I have.
All right. Well, thank you. We need to vote on this director's report.
We do.
So what is?
Jack, make a motion to adopt the director's report.
Okay.
Commissioner Vaughn, second.
Okay.
The motion is to adopt the director's report. Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Fox?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Galvin?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Jackson?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Kramer?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Levy?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Melton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner West?
Aye. Aye.
Votes aye. And Chairman Roberts?
Aye.
Votes aye. The director's report has been adopted.
Thank you very much. Next, moving on, the legal report. Who wants to present that?
I can take care of that. This is General Counsel Erica Smith. And we just have a few changes that I'm going to go through real quick. We'll start with number 18. That is changed to a $1,500 civil penalty. Number 21, we are sticking with the $10,000 civil penalty. And then in addition to that, having the cease and desist language in the consent order, requiring the respondent to attend the next commission meeting in July and explain the corrective action that they've taken regarding their advertising. Yes, it might have cut out, but that is correct. It's a $1,000 civil penalty and a follow-up investigation by an investigator in 60 days.
Thank you. Commissioner Jackson, I motion that we adopt the legal report as been read.
Do we have a second?
Mr. Fox, I'll second.
Executive Director Lawrence, will you call the roll for the vote?
Yes, sir. And the motion is to adopt the legal report. The motion was made by Commissioner Jackson and seconded by Commissioner Fox. Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Fox?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Galvin?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Jackson?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Kramer?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Levy?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Melton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner West?
Aye.
Votes aye. And Chairman Roberts?
Aye.
Votes aye. The motion to adopt the legal report passes. And may I just mention something real quickly? Commissioner Galvin asked earlier about our investigators and if we were staffed up. And I checked in with the director of our inspections and investigations division, and he assured me that actually we were. And I think we have about 8 that rotate around for us, specifically with regard to investigations.
Okay, thank you for that information. Legislative updates. General Counsel Bush, would you like to address that?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I have a couple of updates for you all. First is Senate Bill 1350. And this is the bill that allows the Chattanooga Car Festival to hold an auction without a dealer's license. That has been signed by the governor and it's effective on October 15th, 2021. It's very nearly drafted. Next is Senate Bill 0771. This was a regulatory bill that was pretty broad throughout the department. And just have to say thank you to Jason and Jenny for working so hard on this with me. But it amends language under TCA 5517-111 and allows the commission the ability to promulgate rules, providing multiple methods for notification. This is when a salesperson transfers employment from one dealership to another. Currently, the statute says that licensees must mail their employee license back to the commission for destruction. However, this amendment will allow modifications to the online account, and this will, reduce paperwork that the commission has to receive and process. The commission will need to work with me on making rules for this specific statute to specify how it's going to be carried out. So we'll kind of decide whether it's going to be email or modifying the online account, but it'll just specify the process. So the statute's more of a broad authority, and the rule will give the details. The second portion of this particular amendment is TCA 5517-114, and this allows the commission to revoke or suspend a license when a license holder fails to make available their books and records upon request. So that's if we would send out an investigator and if a licensee were to refuse, then that's grounds for discipline. This language currently exists under the auto auction provision of the statute, and so it's implied, but we just wanted to add it to the dealer portion just to make sure that it's clear and that we have the authority to discipline on these grounds. Next up, Senate Bill 1612. This requires any person who buys or sells unattached catalytic converters as a single item to give written notification of such to the chief of police and sheriff of each city and county in which the activity is carried on. It also requires any person who buys unattached catalytic converters to be registered as a scrap metal dealer. And it specifies that such provisions do not apply to a catalytic converter that has been tested, certified, and labeled or otherwise approved for reuse and being bought or sold for purposes of reuse in accordance with the Federal Clean Air Act. It prohibits the shipping of catalytic converters unless between licensed entities, and it clarifies those authorized to possess or sell a converter. And this also creates a Class A misdemeanor offense punishable by fine only for a person to possess a used detached catalytic converter who does not have authorization to do so. This bill has passed both houses and is awaiting the governor's signature. It will become effective July 1st, 2021. Lastly, I have Senate Bill 1615. This is a bill that was brought by the Tennessee Automotive Association. It addresses reimbursement of parts used in warranty repairs. This process has been implemented in 48 other states. So Tennessee dealers, there's a little bit of history on this and the changes that it will entail. Tennessee dealers are reimbursed by the manufacturer directly rather than dealers in many other states because the parts reimbursement language in Tennessee law needed to be added to the statute. This legislation sets out the process whereby dealers are reimbursed by the manufacturer by determining what non-warranty customers pay for parts and labor for warranty-like repairs. This legislation addresses repair parts used in warranty and recall situations. The provision for labor rates has been on the books since 1977. This bill has passed both houses and is awaiting the governor's signature. And that's all I have.
Thank you for the update. Do we have a motion to approve the legislative update?
So moved, Mr. Charles.
Commissioner Fox, I'll second.
Motion, Commissioner Fox, seconded. If Executive Director Lawrence will call the roll.
And I apologize. Who made the motion?
Charles West.
Charles West. And Commissioner Fox,
Thank you.
seconded.
Thank you. I apologize. The motion is to adopt the legal update. Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Fox?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Galvin?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Jackson?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Kramer?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Levy?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Melton?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
That's aye. Commissioner West?
Aye.
That's aye. And Chairman Roberts?
Aye.
Votes aye. The legislative update has been adopted.
Thank you very much. Committee reports. There's been no audit committee, no rules committee so far. Next would be new business. I believe we have something there.
Yeah, Commissioner, Chairman Roberts, this is Commissioner Fox. May I address the commission?
You absolutely can.
Yes, I just want to let the commission know that we have sold our business. And as a result of that, I'll be stepping down from the commission, from the board. And I just want to let everybody know I have really enjoyed my last 14 or 15 years, how long it's been being on this commission and meeting all you all and making new friends. I really appreciate that. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot what not to do as a dealer by seeing some of these cases come along. But just thank you for your friendship. I thank Bob Weaver for letting me come on, and for Denise and Barry and Jason and all the people of the commission. I just appreciate it. And I just want to let you know that it's been a great experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Fox. And I know we all stand and want to thank you for being part of us.
One thing about it, this morning I had more time to study the agenda, so it's kind of good being home.
Congratulations.
Ronnie gets another 7 years.
Thank you.
Ronnie gets another 7 years.
Congratulations.
Maybe I can come back as an alternate sometime or something.
Very good. Thank you so much for your service.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Okay. Any old business? If not, we got a motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Jackson, motion that we adjourn.
Commissioner Vaughn, second.
Any further discussion? Unfortunately, we have to have a roll call vote.
The motion is to adjourn. Commissioner Evans? Commissioner Evans votes aye. Commissioner Fox?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Galvin?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Jackson?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Kramer?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Levy?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Melton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner Vaughn?
Aye.
Votes aye. Commissioner West?
Aye.
Votes aye. And Chairman Roberts?
Aye.
Votes aye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are adjourned.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody.